The San Francisco 49ers got the injury report that they were probably not hoping for. Uh, it's actually a little bit more substantial than I was anticipating. So let's get into the news. We'll react to it. We'll discuss the impact of Brock Purdy being out, Nick Bosa being out, Trent Williams with a question mark, no Charvarius Ward. Oh boy, we got a pretty substantial injury report to talk about on the brink of a game that could impact the season substantially moving forward. But man, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. Smash that like button, drop a SDS in the chat if you're feeling like it. But let's get into it all right now. Smash that like button if you haven't already. Love to see it. Well, today's injury report went exactly how we didn't want it to go, but let's get straight into it and let's talk about it. Obviously, I'm sure you've already heard about it, but we can react to each individual one. Brock Purdy has officially been ruled out in this game. Kyle Shanahan had spoke about how they didn't really have any concerns of his availability at the beginning of the week, but as the week progressed, things kind of got worse and worse. And then obviously we saw the situation play out yesterday where he started out practicing, he started out throwing, and then he goes into get treatment. Sounds like he had an MRI, and they are basically shutting him down for now. We don't know how long he'll be out for, but we do know that there will be no Brock Purdy playing in this game against the Packers. So a huge blow for the 49ers because, you know, they needed Brock. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. It's a shoulder from what we've been told. We've been told it's a sore shoulder. But you know, who knows? It doesn't feel like we've gotten the full story on it. We've just gotten the information that we need to know, and the information that we need to know right now is he can't go. So he's not going against the Packers, which obviously is a huge challenge for the 49ers as they try to win this game. And then if it, you know, couldn't get any worse, the San Francisco 49ers have ruled out Nick Bosa. So Bosa will not be playing in this game. I was actually hopeful that he would have a similar situation like he did last week where, you know, even though he didn't practice all 3 days today, they're still hopeful that he would be kind of like a game time decision, but that isn't going to be the case. And Nick Bosa has ruled out. And I do think it's important to note that I think the 49ers and the 49ers players understand the magnitude of this game and kind of their season being on the line. And so as a result of that, you know, guys like Nick Bosa not being able to go for this one, that's huge because clearly he can't go because he's not well enough. And as a result of that, from what we've heard, Nick Bosa will be staying behind. He will not be traveling with the team, and he will continue to get treatment and work on his rehab while the San Francisco 49ers are probably on their way to the airport as we speak to go fly to the Packers. So again, when it rains, it pours. So with Brock Purdy being out, this means the 49ers will turn to Brandon Allen. The 49ers have been pretty steadfast in Brandon Allen being the quarterback 2 after preseason and training camp, where they said that he won the spot. So as a result, he will get the start against the Packers. I would say, a lot of fans were definitely angling towards Joshua Dobbs to be able to get that start based on what he did in the preseason and what he's done in the league prior to his stop here. But as I've talked about in the past, that's partly also due to the fact that we just haven't seen Brandon Allen. I've seen Brandon Allen in preseason and in training camp. And he has his moments. He's not like I wouldn't say he's an awful quarterback. He's a quarterback too for a reason. But again, when you get into the game and you see, that's where you really get to determine if these guys are good or not. So we will see how Brandon Allen will play in this game against the Packers. And it's a crazy circumstance to be in because obviously they have to get this win. I get it. Many feel that the season is over, and I understand. For me to say it is officially over, they have to be mathematically eliminated. It is what it is. So until they're mathematically eliminated, they still have a chance, and so they had to win this game. They have to start with the Packers on the road. Obviously, Bills next week, and they have to go on a bit of a run, but it's hard, man. It is hard to, maintain optimism while being, realistic. Like, I think we all understand that it was coming down to this week, and now you're down Brock Purdy, Nick Bosa, with Trent Williams. He will be a game time decision. So we don't even know if Trent will play or not. But if he doesn't play, that adds just another layer to this. Charvarius Ward, who returned to practice this week, he won't participate either. He won't play in this game. He has officially been out. So as it currently stands right now, it's bleak. It's bleak for the San Francisco 49ers. It's definitely not something where you say, I know there's double sides of the blade, where you can, there is a chance that the 49ers go in there and get that W, right? That is a potential outcome. But based on all the news that we have just gotten, multiple key players that you knew were going to need to be available to obtain that win being out really dampers a lot of the hopes. And so, we won't know until that clock strikes 60. We've seen crazier things happen. So I'm a big never say never kind of a guy, especially in this league when you've seen the improbable happen time and time again. Not sitting here saying that is going to be the foregone conclusion for the 49ers at all. But at this stage, it's a never say never situation mixed with absolute like not a lot of optimism. Not a lot of optimism at all heading into this one. So, man, this game is going to be a brutal one, especially I think if it gets out of hand early. And then we're just sitting there front row seats for this one. So the thing is with Allen, he can challenge deep. He had some of the better deep passes from training camp. So, when I think back to his performance, there were days where, Kyle Allen didn't look half bad. He had, like I said, he had some of the nicer deep ball throws in all of training camp. It's a second year in the system, so he knows the system very well. He'll be able to execute it. And so really what it comes down to for the 49ers is any shot of winning this game, it really just has to come down to no turnovers. They can't turn over the football, and they have to create turnovers. It's really what what Allen has to do, what Brandon Allen has to do is he's got to get in and he's got to take care of the football and he's just got to take what's given. Did I call him Kyle Allen? I almost just called him Josh Allen too. I'm going to call him every other Allen. What other Allens are there that we can throw onto the mix? Brian Allen. Josh Allen, Kyle Allen, Brandon Allen. If you haven't noticed, I haven't been saying his name all that often. So real easy for me. Shout out to Panthers legend Kyle Allen, Marcus Allen. There we go. What other Allens? We got Keenan Allen. We got Ray Allen. Yeah, it's going to take me a while for my brain to click into Brandon Allen, not Josh Allen, not Keenan Allen, not Ray Allen. I'm screwing myself even more. Brandon Allen. Someone said, Brad, let's pray Brandon Allen plays like Josh Allen. 100%. Larry Allen. There you go. We got all the Allens covered in this one. So yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough reality. It's a tough situation. The 49ers backs against the wall, literally in the deepest hole that they could probably be in. And they're going to have to figure out every possible way to climb themselves out of this. So, again, I'm going to continue to remain strong and never say never. They're as long as they go out and they have, 48 dressed, they have an opportunity to win the game. Doesn't mean they have a high probability or high percentage chance to win the game, but they have a chance. And so we'll see. But I don't have a ton of confidence. I think it's hard to have a lot of optimism without Brock out there, without Nick Bosa, especially. The defensive line is already so banged up. Hargrave's already out. Kevin Gibbons has been out for 3 weeks. He's out for this game. So I don't know. I don't know who's going to start opposite of Leonard Floyd, whether it's Yetur Gross-Matos or Sam Okwuonu. It's tough, man. It's a tough go for these guys. And then obviously with no Charvarius Ward, that means you got Diamador Lenore, Renardo Green playing a lot of snaps, Isaac Yiadom playing a lot of snaps. I think it's time. Can any of you guys in the chat play defensive end? Any of you guys have any experience playing defensive end? I met my guy Ego at the Tampa Bay game. And I told him, I'm like, bro, you look like a starting defensive end, 6'5", 6'6". Just, I'm like, can we get you on the opposite side of Nick Bosa? We might have to have some chat tryouts and see if we can get someone from the chat into that rotation, because we're getting real thin, folks. We're getting real thin. Thankfully, Yetur Gross-Matos returned last week, but no Nick Bosa scares the crap out of me, because obviously we saw what happened in that final drive with no Nick Bosa against the Seattle Seahawks. So, sheesh. What an injury report that we got today. So it's crazy, man. It's really crazy, because you guys know me. I'm reluctant to say the season is over until it's actually over. But I got a lot of heat for, I think was after the week 4 game, saying how's the sky's falling crowd going. Um, and rightfully so. Every time the 49ers lose, everyone checks in on me. I think I've finally see the sky. The sky is shoo. It is fallen like it's I'm like, oh like damn. It's it's fallen. It's fallen real close to smashing the top of my head. I can hear her. She's her warm up is getting louder. Me 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 me. What did they call the thing? The bomb cyclone. Today's injury report was reminiscent of the bomb cyclone that has hit the north coast here in California, kind of Washington area. Today's injury report was very reminiscent of that. It was just a bomb mixed with a cyclone, mixed with a tornado, mixed with I don't know. I don't know. But geez. I don't even want to say like, oh, it can't get worse, knock on wood. It can absolutely get worse. So man, a Sharknado. Yeah, today's injury report reminiscent of a Sharknado, 100%. Bomb cyclone, all that good stuff. Atmospheric river, whatever the heck they called it. Yeah, today's. I'm gonna go ahead and say this is probably the lowest that 49er fans have felt heading into a game. Jeez, 20 since 2021. Because I'm trying to think of the last time that we really had the game, like we had to win the game and our season was on the line. Just really trying to wrap my head around that. Um, 2022 was dire, but Brock Purdy came in against the Dolphins and never lost. So we never were facing a, elimination or an end of a season like this. 2023, obviously not 2023. It's 2021, man. This is 2021 vibes of, man, you don't win this game, season's cooked. I felt like that game against the Texans, week 17, I think that was Trey Lance's first start, if I'm not mistaken. Week 17, Trey Lance's first start against the Texans. We had to win that game in order to have a chance to get into the playoffs, to be able to beat the Rams week 18 to actually get into the playoffs. So we haven't been in. So again, what I'm trying to contextualize is we have not been in this type of dire of straits since 2021, which is crazy to think about. I started my YouTube channel in 2021. That's how long it's been. I probably had like 8,000 subscribers in 2021, at the end of 2021. Maybe not even 8,000, like 6,000. Back when I was in the garage, bro. I was in the garage the last time we've been talking like this. 2020, they were out of it from where they were out of it for a while. So yeah, man, it's been a long time since we've been faced with these rough roads, rough seas of actually missing the playoffs. And it's crazy, man, because we came into this season with such the highest of hopes. And, I mean, this is a great point, my guy. Like he says, might as well feel the pain now than in the playoffs. I mean, I hate to say it, but it might be time to just kind of rationalize it a little bit. And again, if they surprise us this Sunday and get a win, then hell yeah, we're hyped. They surprise us, we get a win. But it might it I hate to say that. Like it feels so against how I perceive, going about this. And I'm not throwing in the white flag just yet. I'm waving it though. Like I'm not throwing it in, but I'm reaching for it. I'm reaching for it. I haven't thrown in I haven't thrown in the towel yet. I haven't waved the white flag yet. I'm reaching for it though. It's getting it's getting crazy. I see a lot of brutals in the chat. If you think this season is brutal, drop a brutal in the chat. Roberto says this whole season feels like a gut punch. Yeah, this whole season has been uh, a roller coaster that does not end well. It feels like a roller coaster that ends in disaster, which aren't typically the roller coasters that I like to ride. But yeah, it's not good. It's not good. Not good for Man, it's crazy. I seen someone talking about it, but it's like if the 49ers do lose, like it isn't crazy to think that we are going to be starting to set our sights on draft order, on where this team will be selecting in the draft. Um which is crazy. Now the last time that I've waited for the season to be over was 2020. When it was 2020, I was just waiting for the season to end to start draft season, um, which is crazy to think about. Crazy to think about because that's when I died. That was when I decided to be a full time content creator. It was at the end of the 2020 season, right into 2021. That's when I jumped in and it all started with draft season. That's when we had the like crazy Deshaun Watson rumors and the Matt Stafford rumors. Wild, 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 wild. But I agree, it does feel like a gut punch. Today's injury report felt like a gut punch. I think someone said it in the chat, said it feel like we already lost. You know, I want nothing more to be celebrating a win this weekend. But obviously, you lose your best players, you lose your quarterback for this one. It's hard, man. It's hard to be optimistic. Uh, and I get it. I get why we're all crashing out. I get why it feels like it's a lost cause, and I get it. I understand where you guys are needed, or why you're here. Is a prayer circle needed? Damn, we need like a sage circle. I don't even know. We need like a circle of sage. Man, But man, who knows? What if I don't even want to build up the optimism. I get it. I get where we're all at. I get where we're all at. There's still a range of outcome that they shock everyone and they get a dub, but I get it. I get it. It kind of feels like a feels like we're breaking down the loss after a game, but we haven't actually even played the game yet. That's the crazy part about this stream so far is that after a loss, you know, the chat can be chatty. It kind of feels like that. Kind of feels like that injury report. We're breaking it down like 49ers just lost. Kittle is playing. That is very true. James said we need a sacrifice. Can we sacrifice the Cardinals? Does that work? Oh. So this is such a weird spot to be in. Such a weird spot. Such a weird spot because if they lose this game, there are still 6 weeks left. There's still 6 games left. And what are we going to do? Are we going to just go through the motions? Are we going to start shutting players down, dude? I don't know. I don't even know. This is uncharted territory for me covering this team because I've covered the team in 2020. No, I guess that's not uncharted territory. I did cover this team in 2020 and that was just that was a wild season. That was a wild one. So I'm gonna walk that back. I've covered this team when Brian Hoyer was their quarterback, when CJ Beathard was their quarterback, Nick Mullins was their quarterback. It's just been a while. I haven't thought about those days in a minute. So it's bringing back all the fun memories of life, what life is like when the 49ers don't have a chance at the playoffs. All right. We did this earlier. Let's do it again. We pulled the chat. I asked you how confident you are without Brock Purdy, I believe. So let's do this again. We know that Brock Purdy's out. We know that Nick Bosa is out. Confidence level in percentages, 0 to 100%. How confident are you that the 49ers can go in and get a W in Green Bay? Damn. Someone said almost negative. Then Joy dropped negative 20%. Hendrick said 1,000%. Now we still got some confidence in here. I see 80%, a 65, 60%. Some negative percentages are now rolling in this time. Yeah, confidence has in this upcoming game has definitely shifted a bit. Has definitely shifted. So what a fun situation to be in, man. I hate thinking about it like this, but I think if the 49ers had to lose that game, I would want to know by the end of the first quarter what the outcome of that game was going to be. Because I don't know if I could stomach a competitive game, a game where the 49ers are leading, they have a chance to win, and then falls back down to reality. Somehow the Packers come back to win. Oh, I couldn't do that type of loss. I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that. I need to know by the end of the first. I need to know by the end of the first quarter if there's even a shot at this one. I need to know right away. Do the 49ers even have a chance, or are they absolutely fried right out the gates? Oh, that's right. We do have prime. We have 3 primetime games left, guys. 3. Could you imagine playing in 3 primetime games with no ability to make it to the playoffs? Shoo! Shoo boy. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Oh man, you're going to this game? You know, I was thinking about going to this one for sure, especially even when the schedule came out. Uh, I'm kind of glad that I'm not going to this game because it sounds like it's going to be pretty cold. And shout out to you guys that are going, man. Hold strong for us that aren't going. Hold it down. I know a couple people are going to be at this game, especially from this chat. So, hey, hold it down. Hold it down. Maybe you'll witness a miracle. Maybe you'll witness a miracle. Maybe you'll witness the San Francisco 49ers keep their season alive by the hairs of their chinny chin chin. Um, brutal, 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 brutal. But I appreciate you guys. I know that these times are challenging for sure. For sure, for sure, for sure. So I appreciate you guys just, sharing your thoughts, sharing your opinions, being honest. It's all we can do right now. And honestly, right now feels bad, feels not good, feels like the fat lady's starting to sing, like she's getting louder and louder, feels like the sky's falling. Yeah, doesn't feel good. Not gonna sit here and polish a turd and pretend like everything's hunky dory. It's not great right now. Uh, and the optimism is fading. But hey, if it's time to turn to draft season, then I'm here for you. I've been getting ready. I've been prepping. I'm like that meme, like, with the guy who's standing in the corner and they're all dancing. It's like they don't know that I've been quietly preparing for draft season. Because as you guys know, I can see the trends and I can see where things are going, and so I'm like, yeah, it might be beneficial to kind of get a head start on draft season just in case, you want to be prepared. Yeah, I thought the 49ers are going to be able to try to squeeze this thing out and get a shot at the playoffs, but yeah, you never know. So you want to be prepared. So I got my eyes on a couple prospects for sure. Boxing fan says 49ers select Cameron Williams, right tackle, Texas. I got my eyes on a tackle as well. My guy coming out of Tennessee. Yeehaw. Chili says, Brad, check Twitter DMs when you get time. Will do. So, but it's not draft season just yet. It's not draft season just yet. We can't officially celebrate draft season until it is officially draft season. We can get prepared for draft season. We can get ready, but it's not time just yet. So very interesting game coming up this weekend. Boy, oh boy. We may have angered the football gods this year. Smash that like button. Oh, we'll be miserable together. Don't you worry. I'm out for now. Peace.